forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, good evening to you. Temperatures quite cool out there tonight. The skies cleared. Actually, they were clear for most of the day. And now with these clear skies tonight, those temperatures are falling. But believe it or not, we're going to see a warm front lift through the area, and temperatures may even come up a degree or two by morning. But we've already dipped down to these low and mid-40s across the area. 45 in Mattoon right now, 45 in Effingham. So when we show you the out-the-door forecast, you're going to see that those temperatures again right there in the mid-40s. Now we're thinking maybe some rain showers that are going to be moving in later into the morning. We'll talk about that in your forecast when we come back here in just a little bit. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
It is wise to be a smart pet owner and try to keep them contained in either a fenced-in yard or on leashes.
But that's not happening in one city, why some are worried about roaming dogs. Plus, one city's come up with a way to deal with the police and fire pension problem. Why some say the solution was illegal. And Illinois football will be going a long way to play a home game in 2021. What concerns some fans have for the announced trip to Ireland. We begin with breaking news. Crews are on the scene of a house fire in rural Champaign County.
It's happening on 400 East near Bonneville. Crews have been out there since after 8 o'clock tonight. We are on the scene working to get more information for you. No word yet on if anyone was home at the time. We will get you more info as soon as possible.
Now to tonight's other top story. There's a problem Moweaqua police are trying to contain.
We get a lot of postings and a lot of complaints of dogs running loose.
They're cracking down on a law several pet owners aren't following. Police have noticed an uptick in reports of people's dogs running around the streets. Some say they're worried about their family's safety. That's why police are sending a message about the rules. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is with us. So Jennifer, has anyone been hurt?
Jessica, the police chief says while people haven't been hurt, one dog was hurt when another escaped and attacked it. Officials are trying to prevent anything worse from happening in the future. Down the streets of Moweaqua, it's hard to miss the many dogs hanging out behind fences in backyards. But it's the ones running loose that are causing an issue for police and people in the village.
I'll see a dog here or there run loose.
Dana Schuster has noticed the problem that's become more frequent.
Recently, there's been several more posts about frequent dogs being loose and running the neighborhoods.
Police Chief Roy Mackey says it's becoming a safety hazard.
They'll end up finding a way out, running around, upsetting the residents, scaring the children, or getting into confrontations with other dogs.
Now he's reminding people about the ordinance that outlines the law many pet owners are breaking.
You have to be accountable for your dogs. You must keep them contained, whether it's by leash or a fenced backyard. On a leash when you walk them. There is a $75 fine. Actually, we can upgrade it to $150, if not more.
It only costs $2 to register your pet with the city and get a tag that lets police know who it belongs to. It's a simple message.
Keep track of your dogs.
To protect everyone.
Keep your dogs safe, and as well as the people around you. You know, if someone's afraid of an animal, your dog's in jeopardy for their reaction as well.
The police chief says if you get a $75 non-compliance fine, he's open to waiving it if you come in to register your pet. Back to you.
Jennifer, thank you. When police do catch an animal, there's a cage in the back of the department to keep a single dog, but it's not monitored 24/7. So they've had to pay a fee at the department's expense to take it to Shelby County Animal Control.
The Georgetown community is remembering Wyatt Pope this week. The 9-year-old died Saturday after being in a car crash Wednesday. His father died in that crash. Friends of the family are hosting an auction on Wednesday to raise money for funeral services. It's at the address on your screen. The auction's at 7. Pinecrest Elementary is wearing red and black in Wyatt's memory on October 22nd. They will also raise money for his family. Police are still investigating a deadly car wreck in Paxton over the weekend. It happened at 150 North and 1500 East. 19-year-old Taylor Johnson of Rantoul and 28-year-old Reynaldo Hogue of Chicago were found dead at the scene. The coroner says a farmer called Ford County Dispatch and told them he saw a car in a ditch. The tow truck driver who responded says it was difficult to see.
And I have a daughter born on the exact same day as her. You know, it just makes you sad. You know, my daughter's the exact same age.
The coroner says the victims were not wearing seatbelts. If you're in Danville, check your speed, because if you don't, police will.
The Danville Police Department will have an increased presence to try and bust speeders throughout the next year. It's through a grant from IDOT. The Danville Police Department says oftentimes when they respond to a crash, speeding is to blame. One problem area for them is Vermilion Street. There will be several details through Halloween, but outside of speed, it's also about awareness. Police say now is an important time to enforce that message.
There's going to be a lot of foot traffic out the week of Halloween, not just for trick-or-treating, but other different events. And we just sort of want to set the tone for people, you know, please pay attention what we got going on. Get from point A to point B as safe as you can, and enjoy yourself once you get there.
The IDOT grant lasts until the end of September next year. Danville is one of a number of cities in Illinois to get it. The rising cost of local police and fire pension payments is putting pressure on cities across the state to take drastic measures. Some cut police and fire staffing levels. Others sold off assets to come up with cash. As our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell reports, Decatur is trying something different.
Things may not be as dire here in Decatur as they are in many other cities in Illinois. For example, the city is not actively slashing the size of its police force. However, the ranks are growing smaller because as officers retire, the city is replacing them with civilians who can handle paperwork and desk duties, leaving the more dangerous job to armed police officers who patrol the streets. Mayor Julie Moore-Wolf describes it as a shrewd budget move that could avert a looming crisis that might threaten to cripple city operations.
We're looking for creative ways to deal with the money we have and the resources we have, but to still protect the public.
Police pensions in Decatur are just 61% funded. Fire pensions, 50%. 21 years from now, the city will have to reach a 90% level, which means budgets will only grow tighter, and contributions that large will come at an even steeper cost.
It's a threat that's hanging out there. We used to be able to pay all the pension costs with property taxes, but we can't do that anymore. We've got to dip into other funds, and so then your other programs and the other things you're responsible for start to suffer.
While the city struggles to pay for things like fixing potholes, budget holes are growing deeper too. Decatur paid $4.7 million into police pension funds last year. In the same year, it paid out $8.1 million in benefits, and it paid $5.6 million into the fire pension fund, while it paid out $7.6 million in benefits.
The math just doesn't work unless you do things like raise taxes and raise fees, because costs continue to go up. That's just the way it is.
Decatur recently raised a city gas tax and a water tax to try and catch up, but the pension debt is piling up faster than the tax money. So instead of laying officers off, the city is creating a new, cheaper position: the community liaison officer.
And putting civilians in those positions, which are basically going to be paperwork type things, so that we can take the officers we have and have them on patrol, have them on the streets.
Reporting in Decatur, I'm Mark Maxwell.
The police union was not available for a comment today, but they told our news partners at the Herald and Review this new desk position is illegal because the city didn't bargain with the union to create the new positions. The union filed a complaint with the Illinois Labor Relations Board. We are now going back to our breaking news from the top of the newscast.
Crews are on the scene of a house fire in rural Champaign County near Bonneville. WCIA 3's Emily Braun joins us now live. So, Emily, what can you tell us?
Well, right now, this is still a very active scene. There are several different crews responding to this, including Bonneville and Corn Belt Fire. So I'm going to let you guys take a closer look at what crews are dealing with now. They're still inside the house and outside putting water on this building because flames are still shooting out of the roof and smoke is still billowing out of it as well. They told me that they got the call for this about an hour ago. 3 people were inside when this happened, but they said they all got out safely and nobody was hurt. When I asked them what they believe the cause might have been, they pointed to a chimney on the ground in pieces, saying that the fire likely started from that chimney. Of course, we will keep you updated out here on the scene as we learn more information about this fire. Live near Bonneville, Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Emily, let us know if you learn more, okay? Thanks. A state lawmaker is trying to bring the death penalty back. It has been 8 years since the death penalty was abolished in Illinois. David McSweeney filed a bill to have it reinstated. McSweeney believes DNA technology has progressed to the point where wrongful convictions won't be an issue. The Illinois Innocence Project, a group that helps those who are wrongly convicted, disagrees.
This has been tried and failed. And in terms of the DNA, I work with DNA every day. I can tell you that the issues, it's so much more complicated than just saying technology is better. We can now discern all cases of guilt and innocence. That's just not true.
McSweeney doesn't expect to gain much support for the bill early on, but he wanted to start a discussion about what he believes is an important issue. Some seniors in Danville gathered to learn about public safety and even some tips for self-defense. Senior Source hosted a personal and public safety workshop. They met with Police Chief Chris Yates afterward. They learned some key lessons about how to protect themselves when they're out and about. Organizers say even when the turnout is small, they're happy to help spread an important message.
Danville Area Community College is getting ready to start training future casino employees. On Friday, trustees approved buying a space for training. It's an old Army Reserves training building across the street from DAC's campus. The casino training courses they want to include would be security, machine maintenance, and customer service.
Some of you may have been off today because of Columbus Day, but some are celebrating something else instead.
Plus, Illinois football is going international, but some fans are pointing out a problem.
And speaking of the Illini, they're gearing up to face the undefeated Badgers, while Lovey and the players are split on their performance last week.